episode 3846, Make What Is Old New Again.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day. I hope you're ready because it's Friday. That means it's dance time. Yes, it is. It's Confessions of an Upset Mama. And you know what? We're going to have some fun. I know because it's taken me about 10 times already just to record the beginning of the daggum podcast. So you know what? Make what is old new again. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already even had the opportunity, you want to head on over to createyournow.com where you can learn more and sign up for the Kisses newsletter. The Keep It Simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, this episode is brought to you by AIM, Inspiring Connection and Community. All right, well, I'm going to put out an apology right now. I may get a little tickled in this one. I do not know why. Maybe I do know why. I'm traveling right now with my mother. And so I've taken you on the road with me. We're having a lot of fun. We are spending some time with Karen Kingsbury and her family. And she's got a brand new book coming out. It's called The Christmas Ring. And more importantly, the movie is coming out too. Oh, yes. Kingsbury Productions. You got to check it out. You do. And I will have some more information to follow up with you on that. But because we're traveling, you know, my mind gets to wandering and you get to walking these beautiful, quaint little towns. And, you know, you get to just kind of live in fiction world for a little bit. And it allows you to say, gosh, what does it look like to make what is old new again? Because parenting in today's world feels like a nonstop race to keep pace with the latest toys and gadgets and trends. Every week, sometimes it seems like for me every day, there's something new promising to be the must-have for your kids, regardless of their age. They got to have it. A whoosh of the digital this, a flashy of that, flashing lights and beeping sounds filling every room. Sometimes you're just wanting to plug your ears and say, turn it all off. Yeah, I've had those moments. And then you have to grow up a little bit, right? Because kids will be kids and you want them to grow. You want them to explore, but you don't need to buy into the buzz. More stuff won't make family life smoother or your kids happier. And guess what's around the corner? Yep, Christmas. And maybe for you, it's birthdays. For us, oh my goodness, August, our anniversary starts the whoosh of everything happening. I've shared this with you before. In October, oh my goodness, I don't know. We have so many birthdays. It is utterly ridiculous. It really is. But it's a great month, right? You're kind of bringing in the fall weather and it just makes you smile. But when you're thinking about more stuff, like what do I need to get for the kids, the grandbabies, the nieces, the nephews, the kiddos next door, whatever it is, it's like, what do they really need? And what we end up doing is we just keep chasing every new fad. And that can complicate life and even harm your children's growth and relationships. So make what is old new again. I mean, think about this. What if you could turn back time on yourself and make what is old, meaning you, new again? Make yourself a little bit younger, not in the manner that you go back 20 years, but that you would give the energy that you had back then to your life right now. It would be different, wouldn't it? Well, the thing is this too. When you're looking at wanting to give everything to your kids, because honestly, that's what a lot of parents do. We want to give them what we didn't have growing up. And then you have the endless competition to have the newest whatever, and it just sets kids against each other in ways that stunt their development. They're arguing over things that, well, should they really be arguing over them? Why do we even care? Why do we compare? When children constantly compare what they have with what their friends have, jealousy creeps in. Do you know what happens with that? Jealousy breeds resentment and can fracture friendships and sibling bonds. And then guess what? It fractures your relationship with your children too. Because then they blame you. Well, Mom, why can't you get that for me? And then they don't always understand that things cost money and there's value in what you get and how you get it. And not everybody can just get everything, right? And so instead of focusing on learning and playing and growing, kids get trapped in, well, who has more? Who's cooler? Those are the contests they live for. This distracts them from curiosity, collaboration, and creativity, skills they desperately need. And let me tell you, we need our kiddos to be curious. We need them to collaborate with each other. We need them to be able to actually communicate with each other, to be creative and say, what can I build from here? Or let me tell you, there's going to be no more space trips anytime soon because no one's going to have the thoughts of what's out there in the world. Think about it. Now, let's take sports for an example, right? You know me in sports. Yep, got to love some football. If your child is so caught up in beating others at every score or owning the trendiest sports gear, they risk losing the joy of the game and why it matters, improving themselves, learning how to be on a team, a part of a team, winning together or losing together better. And when you think about academics, where does that fall into? Competition based on grades alone can crush a child's willingness to learn for the sake of understanding. And then you look at them socially, kids might exclude peers who don't have the latest tech or toys, reinforcing harmful divisions based on material things. What are we doing to our kids? I mean, seriously, have you thought about that? There's a brand new phone that's out. It's called the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max, and you got all these things, and you got the new watch and whatever, right? And they all have their certain releases. Apple's really good at that. And by the way, Apple is not a sponsor of this episode. Maybe they should be. I use a lot of Apple products. I appreciate them. But what I don't appreciate always is that we've got to shove this stuff in front of parents and grandparents and aunties and uncles' faces that say, you got to have this, you got to have this, you got to have this. And then we don't take the reserve to say, do I really need it? Do my kids really need it? So today I want to ask you a question. What if there was another way? What if we as parents or just lovers of our wonderful kiddos, however they are to you, however they're related to you, maybe they're not related to you, they're your next door neighbors, but you still care for them and love them. That's great. What if we all flipped the script and made what is old new again? And no, I'm not saying taking your, 50, 60, 70, some self and becoming a 20, 30, 40 something. No, I mean, it might sound good for 10 seconds. And then I'm like, yeah, no, I don't need that. I've already been through that stage. I want to go back to that stage. But I will say this, instead of adding more stuff to the mix, why not use what you already have? Reignite the magic in classic toys, games, and simple activities. That is your Kids to Keep It Simple strategy. Reignite the magic. The magic that probably you once experienced at least one time. Now, I know we all grow up differently, and maybe you didn't have that wonderful childhood. I get it. But if you want to give your kids something, regardless of their age, you've got to reignite the magic. I was just chatting with my son. All of mine are officially adults now. And rightfully so. They can do everything, including drink. So that makes me very old. Not really. But see, you want to make something old new again? Yeah, let's talk about making me new again. So I'm trying this. Anyway, I'm talking to my son, and we're working on changing some things. He's getting his brand new job and getting ready to go out in the world and conquer it the way God created him to conquer it. And we find out when we get to the bank that, oh, wait, by the way, you want to make sure you get rid of all these subscriptions, because if they hit your account, it is possible they could reopen. I was like, what? I haven't heard of that. I've never had that experience. I mean, sometimes I kind of wish some subscriptions would fall off the face of the earth, right? But then the ones that hit all the time, you're like, why do they keep hitting? Anyway, you get my drift. Well, so we were talking about it. And so we walked out and knew we had to, come back another time to make sure that he had everything deleted, canceled, whatever he wanted to do before we did this major switch. He's like, no big deal, Mom. And then he looked at one, he goes, oh my goodness. He goes, Mom, I don't even know what this is. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know what this is? He goes, well, I have no idea what this is. And I'm like, you really need to investigate then, hun. I mean, why are just you pouring money out for this? We do it as adults, right? Some of us adults, me included, are just bigger kids. And I think that's great, because when we can see the world through a child's eyes, that's incredible. I mean, that's what we need to be able to do. Put on those lenses every single day. But we have to carry the wisdom of our experiences and where we have come from in order to guide the children now that we have been gifted and blessed with. And so in looking at all that, I'm like, dude, you really need to know what you're subscribing to. I said, because if you're not, you're just literally throwing money away. There's a commercial out there that talks about this. I don't even remember what it is. You probably know what it is. You're yelling at me now, but okay. Regardless, I mean, how many subscriptions do you have? Same thing. Do you even know how many toys of a certain nature your kids have? You may actually have more that you didn't even know about. I actually used to buy toys very, very early. I would buy them on sale, clearance price. Why? We had a big family. I had to stretch the budget big time. And one of the ways I could do it was I would buy on sale and actually on clearance, which was on sale, like the lowest of the lowest. And I'm like, I can get this. And I know they'll be this age, they'll be ready for it. And I would save it for them. Do you know that I found a Christmas gift, I kid you not, that I wanted to give one of my kiddos, and I had it for like 3 years, and then just found it. I'm like, I knew I got it, but I didn't know where I put it. Yeah, I know. Talk about reigniting the magic. I did, a little late, but you can do that. So what does it look like in real life to make what is old new again and reignite the magic? Number 1, reimagine classic play. Pull out those board games. Come on. Tucked away in the closet. Maybe you need to dust off a few of the puzzles and bring out the building blocks, and don't forget your Legos. Legos are the best. We always have Legos. I don't know what it is. Let me tell you, I do know though, because every single day I would vacuum, I'd always find a Lego somehow on my heel. And let me tell you, the whole house heard it because, it hurt like anything. But we'll leave that one for another episode. But challenge your kids to create stories or build worlds from scratch with what's on hand instead of relying on apps and screens. You wonder why there's no new TV shows out? The same thing? I mean, maybe you don't. But I look on traditional TV, not like a Netflix or anything, but even looking on that, it's like there's nothing new under the sun. Where's the imagination? They're not imagining anymore. Not even our older kids. You just heard my conversation with my son, right? Well, if he's just sitting here doing all these different subscriptions, we don't even know what he's, subscribing to. Meaning he doesn't know what he's subscribing to. He forgets, whatever. And he's like, well, it's nice when I use it, but then if I don't use it, I'm like, then why do you have it? Cancel it. It's a waste of money. But you see, we kind of go through life like that. Oh, I need this now. I got to have it. And then you put it down. You're like, why do I have it? Maybe you should think about what you have, what you want for the kids. Then put that idea aside, put it in your Amazon cart, whatever you want to do, save it for later so you don't forget about it. I know, I get it. Put it in a wish list and give it 2 or 3 weeks and see if what you were thinking about still comes up. Because guess what? It probably won't. Something else will. That's how our world goes round. It moves at lightning speed. And if we sit there and we just keep giving and feeding our kids what's easy on apps and screens, where's their creativity? They're not going to be challenged. And you know what? Us old, we're going to become new again because we are the greatest and best. Like seriously, because nothing else is being created. So turn an old cardboard box into a spaceship or a fort. When kids re-engage with these timeless toys, they're using creativity and problem-solving muscles that no screen can replace. None. And we need that in our world, especially as they grow older. You can't have an engineer who doesn't have problem-solving skills, right? They got to flex those muscles. We can't have architects that don't know how, if you have big things versus heavier things and lighter things and all of that. Well, is the building going to stand up right? Physics, science. Do we really want to go to the moon, or are we just kind of pretending we do? Number 2, create tech-free family traditions. I love this one, love this one, love this one. Reintroduce simple rituals like family game night. Yep. Open up that closet. I know I've got a big closet of them. And we've been doing that with the grandbabies, and we're trying to do that more with our children when they come over. Maybe it's backyard camping. I know it's getting a little cool, but what can you do with backyard camping? Oh, s'mores. Give me some s'mores. It's delicious. And here's a great one, which a lot of people do not really think about. Cooking recipes handed down through generations. That truly makes old experiences fresh and meaningful. Why? Why do you think that is? Because you can share the stories of what it was like when you cooked with that family member, or during a simple, maybe it was a family tradition, and what it felt like when you all came together as a family. I remember my great-grandmother's cinnamon apples, and they were like candy cinnamon apples. They were ones that I have no idea how she did it most of the time. All I know is it took forever, and it's like they just slow cooked forever. And it's not because of crock pot. Nope, she didn't have a crock pot. It was the old-fashioned stove, and oh my goodness, she would take a bite of that cinnamon apple. You didn't even have to chew. It just melted in your mouth. But you see, it wasn't about eating it. It was about her walking over to my grandma and grandpa's house because she lived right next door. My grandfather built 3 homes on 13 acres. So the whole family, his mom, and then my grandma and grandpa could have their house. And then my grandma's parents could have their house. And they all lived on the family farm. And it was fabulous. And it wasn't so much as to eating them, even though they were delicious. It was more so when she was walking over with her beautiful white hair done up in a bun, she would open up the door and she would say hello. And this rush of candy cinnamon apples just ignited the room. And it was like, Grandma Goldie's here. Now the party can begin. And it was just a special time. Now, for some people, they'd be like, well, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. But for others, it will. And this is the time where you get to pass down some traditions that, you know what, if you're just sitting there anytime, like during Thanksgiving or Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever it is for you, New Year's, maybe it doesn't have to be done then. It can be done off cycle. So when it's time to set your family traditions, then they can be like, oh, but I want to do what great grandma, which would be their great great grandma, did with you. I want to have those memories. These traditions encourage togetherness, right? You're better together as a family. It encourages conversation and lots and lots and lots of laughter. And who doesn't need to laugh more? I know I do. So, give the kids a break from comparison. Let them be tech-free for a little bit. Reduce their anxiety and distract them from the conflicts that really, honestly, doesn't need to happen. You see, the problem that we have a lot of times is that we're too connected in a manner where we can just be mean to each other. What would happen if we actually had to take time to be with each other and then we would be nicer to each other? I don't know, food for thought. And finally, number 3, involve kids in upcycling and DIY projects. I love this one, love this one, love this one too. Because instead of buying new, get crafty with your kiddos. Turn old t-shirts into tote bags, repaint furniture, or even make your own simple toys. And maybe if your kids are older, have them come over and work on a project at your house if you trust them. Notice I put that little, That's kind of a little blurb there. You got to make sure if you trust them. If not, get a contractor who specializes in it. I'm just saying. But this teaches resourcefulness and pride in making something valuable from what most would toss aside. And then it also, keep in mind, shifts the focus from consumption to creation. You and I, our kiddos, this world, each of us, were created to create. And we're created for more. So why are we holding our own kids back by giving them what we think is actually exploding them and saying, whoa, maybe you need to take a step back from AI. Yep, I actually said it. Don't send me those hate emails. But let's figure out how to reignite the magic and make what is old new again. Because when us as parents stop chasing the latest trends and we truly start rekindling interest in what's already around, kids learn there is an immense value in imagination. And also they're going to find it in relationships and resourcefulness. But if we are just saying, oh, here, take the easy road out, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to take the easy road. You would have too. I have done it also. But making what is old new again is not about limiting your child. It's not about making it easy for them. It's about giving them the tools they truly need to grow, to be stretched, to become who they are and who God wants them to become. Tools that don't require an upgrade every season, right? It's ridiculous that we have to sit there and upgrade our phone. Wouldn't it be nice just that we just upgrade our conversation by having greater vocabulary? There's a thought. But here's hope. The hope that being creative and being intentional with what your kids have and what they actually need makes space for real growth through every stage of childhood and adultinghood, right? When your kiddos are growing up and you're like, oh, good luck out there. They need some guidance too. Don't leave them hanging. So the next time you feel the pull to buy that latest toy or gadget, take a pause. Ask yourself, what can we rediscover together? The answer might be sitting right under your nose, waiting to be the new old favorite. Come on, Mom, you got this. Let's make what is old new again. Go in peace, be present, be incredible, be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Have a glorious, blessed weekend. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.